Hi, my name is Shorby, and I will explain what a home UPS system is. This is InverTech's smallest home UPS system, which comprises of a 1000-watt inverter charger and two 225 amps deep cycle battery. This equipment will automatically and instantly switch on during a blackout, so that your appliances keep running. It is capable of running all your lights, TVs, fans, security cameras, computers, gate motors, etc. for around 6 to 8 hours. And if you need more time, more batteries may be added. Also, you may use a big inverter for a larger home. This is how it works. The current comes in from GPL into the inverter and then out again to your breaker panel, where your appliances get power from. When there is a blackout, the inverter instantly switches on to pull current from the deep cycle batteries connected. So to cause a blackout, I will disconnect power. And let's observe how fast the automatic switchover operates. Here goes the blackout. As you can see, that we are now running on battery power for the next 6 to 8 hours, and our appliances did not suffer a blackout. When the current returns, the equipment will automatically confirm that voltage and frequency are normal. Then automatically switch back to the power company. Then it will charge your batteries until full and wait for another blackout. InverTech will help you to add solar panels to the system so that it becomes a full solar setup that uses only the sun to power your home. We have our intelligent equipment that can even switch off GPL automatically and use solar power alone to run your house. This is designed to reduce your light bill significantly. Thank you guys for your time today. Remember, we are located at 58 David Street, PT. Our numbers are 223-2233 or 695-9191.
Police crackdown on protests against dubbed mandatory vaccination. LAMAHA Park home invasion. Victim tied up as burglars ransack home. Contrabands unearthed during a search of the New Amsterdam prison. In the region, Colombian authorities fear COVID surge as vaccines run out. And internationally, South Africa outbreak. Hundreds of thousands of students out of school. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. The dubbed anti-mandatory vaccination protest continues today. Demonstrators gathered in large numbers in front of the Square of the Revolution. During the protest, executive member of the People's National Congress Reform, Aubrey Norton, and at least 17 other persons were arrested. Norton and the others were taken to the BURGLARS police station. At the time of the arrest, Mr. Norton said the police did not give him a reason for the arrest, only saying that they had to await the arrival of the commander. Supporters started gathering outside of the BURGLARS police station in solidarity. Mr. Norton and those arrested were subsequently released.
I've always argued that the police use COVID as a tool of repression. In large measure, they started by saying we were in violation of COVID. I said to them, look, I was wearing a mask. There was nobody with me when you claim you want to arrest me. It is when the police proceeded to come to arrest me that some people came around me and they put all in the vehicle. We are going to go to court and fight it because I was not involved in any illegal possession.
Meanwhile, the protest continues at the Square of the Revolution. Police are looking into a fatal accident that occurred on Saturday evening on the east bank of the Demerara, involving a 22-year-old driver who ran over a pedestrian, fled the scene, and surrendered to a law enforcement officer. Esther Sobers has more on that story.
Police are investigating a fatal accident on Saturday night at Farm New Housing Scheme, Public Road, East Bank, Demerara, involving a motor car and a pedestrian. According to police investigations, about 7:30 p.m., motorcar PZZ 7322, driven by 22-year-old Jail Henry, was speeding north on the public road when he ran over 23-year-old Ishwar Mohan of Lot 163 2nd Street, Success, East Coast, Demerara, who was lying on the western side of the road. As a result, the pedestrian was dragged some distance away. The driver failed to stop but instead went to the Providence police station and reported the matter. Mohan was picked up in an unconscious condition by the public spirited citizens and taken to the Diamond Diagnostic Center. He was pronounced dead on arrival by a doctor on duty. The body was then escorted to the Memorial Gardens crematorium for storage and awaiting post-mortem. A breathalyzer test was conducted on the driver. No trace of alcohol was detected in his breath. He remains in custody. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Ranks of the Ghana Police Force are investigating a robbery at LAMAHA Park, North Rhymeville, Georgetown, early this morning. Inquiries disclosed that the victim, a 43-year-old female who lived alone, was asleep when she left her bedroom door open. Around 3 a.m., she was awakened by 4 males armed with handguns in her home. The perpetrators pointed their guns at her and demanded money and valuables. The men tied the victim up with a bedsheet. They ransacked the house and carted off with more than $200,000 in valuables. Investigations are ongoing. Police are investigating also a fatal accident involving a garbage truck and a motorcycle in Linden. More from Mr. Sobers.
Police are investigating a fatal accident on Sunday on the 1 Mile Public Road, Linden, that claimed the life of a 23-year-old motorcyclist. Dead is Adrian Andrews of Lot 112, Wisrock Housing Scheme, who was driving motorcycle CK8951 at the time of the accident. Police inquiries disclosed that around 12:45 hours, motor lorry GWW 9089, owned by M&TC Linden, was proceeding west on the public road. The driver, 48-year-old Raul Stanton, stopped to pick up garbage, after which he drove off and attempted to turn south across the road. The lorry ended up in the path of the motorcycle CK8951, which was proceeding east on the road. The motorcycle collided with the motor lorry, causing the motorcyclist to fall, receiving injuries to his head. He was picked up in an unconscious state and taken to the Mackenzie Hospital complex. He was pronounced dead on arrival. A breathalyzer test was conducted on the driver. There was no sign of alcohol. The driver of the truck, who is in police custody, is assisting with the investigation, has been served with a notice of intent to prosecution. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away after the break. Police are on the hunt for a suspect who was allegedly involved in the violent killing of a 34-year-old man at Cayuni River, and police unearthed contraband at the New Amsterdam prison.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
For decades, milk has remained the same. Until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop price smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. A 23-year-old remand prisoner, Ijad Muhammad Ali, was stabbed to death at the Lusignan prison, East Coast Demerara, on Sunday, September 12th. Inquiries disclosed that the victim was housed in the holding bay number 2, along with several other prisoners. Reports said that around 8:30 a.m., the victim was confronted by 3 suspects who accused him of stealing an improvised weapon. The said weapon was then taken away from the victim by one of the suspects. A fight started between Ali and one of the other suspects. The suspect stabbed Ali several times to his lower right abdomen. Ali was picked up and taken to the Lusignan Prison Infirmary and later transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital complex, where he succumbed while receiving medical treatment. The body is presently at the Georgetown Public Hospital mortuary. During a search on Saturday morning at the New Amsterdam prison, employees discovered many seeds, leaves, and stems suspected to be cannabis. 10 packs of Pall Mall cigarettes were also discovered in the kitchen section of the prison. The police were subsequently summoned to the prison. The suspect narcotics were weighed and amounted to 197 grams. The cannabis and cigarettes were taken to the Central Police Station and lodged. An investigation is ongoing. A suspect allegedly involved in the violent killing of a 34-year-old man at Cuyuni River is being sought by the police. Here is more from Esther Silvers.
Police are looking for a suspect in the violent killing of a 34-year-old man in Quartzstone Landing, Cuyuni River on Saturday. Dead is Marlon Carter of Post Office Street, Grove East Bank, Demerara. Investigations revealed that the suspect and Carter had a misunderstanding during which Carter was wounded and subsequently died. When the police arrived at the scene around 5:30 p.m., they found Carter's body on the river bank clad in a black and red boxer. The police examined the body and found lacerations to the head, above the left ear, left lower forearm, forehead, a wound to the right ankle, and burns to the chest area. At the scene, police found the suspect's brother, who is wanted by police. Police said the brother handed over a 9mm pistol with the make and serial number filed off. He claimed that the weapon belonged to Carter. The victim's body is at the Memorial Funeral Parlor awaiting a post-mortem examination. The suspect's brother was placed in custody. Efforts are currently being made to locate the suspect. Police investigations continue. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Silvers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away after the break. Hundreds of Brazilians call for President Bolsonaro's impeachment, and South Africa outbreak. Hundreds of thousands of students out of school. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop price smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
For decades, milk has remained the same. Until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy Milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. In Colombia, health officials are worried about a potential COVID-19 surge next month. Colombians have run out of vaccines and many people with a first dose are currently unable to get a second shot. It comes as the Delta variant is on the rise and a new, more contagious variant known as Mo is also spreading. Al Jazeera's Alessandro Rampietti reports.
After days without available doses, people are lining up again at vaccination centers in Bogotá.
We heard new doses arrived and decided to try. We were here 15 days ago and couldn't get vaccinated.
Yet not everybody here will be able to get a shot amid an ongoing vaccine shortage, and some are sent away. Pfizer, Moderna and AstraZeneca vaccines are all in short supply, and Colombia's postponed the second shot for most people, extending the allowed interval between doses from the recommended 21 days to almost 3 months. Which is the case for street vendor Liliana Barbosa, who was hoping to be fully protected by now.
I wish I could get my second dose to be safe. They're saying I will have to wait until November, and the same is happening with most vaccines.
So far, less than a third of Colombia's population has been fully vaccinated, while almost half has received at least one dose. Experts are hoping the country will soon be able to pick up speed after news that the more contagious Delta variant was detected here earlier this week, and that the homegrown variant known as Mu is already responsible for over 60% of current infections. Colombia's National Institute for Health is the first in a developing country to independently sequence the local variant, which is spreading internationally and is being closely monitored by the World Health Organization.
At this time, we are evaluating the possibility that the Mu variant could evade the immune system of vaccinated people. Colombia is particularly interesting for this study since we are using many different types of vaccines. This will be key to understand what will happen next.
With daily cases falling, bars, restaurants and clubs fully open again, people have relaxed their attitude, but experts fear a new spike could be around the corner.
The government should seize this opportunity to try to speed up vaccinations, buying more doses, and strengthen primary care and its ability to trace cases before the next uptick.
The current decline in deaths and cases has given Colombians and the economy some relief, but with multiple strains on the rise and a bumpy inoculation campaign, health officials warn it might be too early to let their guard down. Alessandro Rampietti, Al Jazeera, Bogotá.
Several hundred Brazilians have called for President Jair Bolsonaro to be impeached. The right-wing leader is trailing former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva by 9 percentage points in recent polls. Elections are due to take place in October of 2022. Al Jazeera's Monica Yannicke reports.
Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro is used to having crowds of supporters in Rio de Janeiro's Copacabana beach. But this time, many of his voters have turned up to demand his impeachment.
Bolsonaro said he had 28 years of political experience, but had never been tainted by a corruption scandal. I thought he was the man who could change Brazil. I was mistaken.
Brazil's political movements, both on the right and the left, have joined forces against Bolsonaro, pushing for his impeachment. So far, 130 requests have been made and ignored by Congress.
We decided to set aside our differences as leftist parties and sum up efforts with Brazil's right-wing supporters to fight Bolsonaro, who represents a threat to our democracy.
Opinion polls show Bolsonaro trailing former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva ahead of next year's presidential elections. Many Brazilians who are protesting here do not want Lula back. They were happy to see Lula behind bars on corruption charges. But after seeing Bolsonaro threaten the Supreme Court during the September 7th Independence Day celebrations, they've changed their minds.
September 7th was clearly supposed by the president and his followers to be the beginning of a movement to stage a coup and to close the Supreme Court, or at least oust some of the justices from the Supreme Court. It backfired. He was far more isolated and weakened after the events, especially the rally in São Paulo. And he had to make a strategic retreat to prevent to be impeached from by Congress. And I think that now he's basically waiting for a new moment to invest against the institutions again. And that's why the movement pro-impeachment is growing, and I don't think it will recede.
Brazilians are unsatisfied with rising inflation and poverty rates, as well as the handling of the coronavirus pandemic. With almost 600,000 dead, Brazil has the second largest COVID-19 death toll after the United States. Monica Yannicke, Al Jazeera.
And in South Africa, hundreds of thousands of students are missing out on school in South Africa because of its continuing battle with the coronavirus pandemic. It is feared the disruption of children's education will be felt for years to come. Al Jazeera's Famida Miller reports.
Nwalazi Mapumolo has spent much of the school year at home in KwaZulu-Natal, babysitting younger children like her who are not at school. The pandemic has forced thousands of public schools in South Africa to shut or alternate school days to reduce the numbers of pupils on site.
Sometimes I go to school 1 week or maybe even 1 day a week. And really, that thing hurts me a lot because I love my schoolwork. And this coronavirus is just so bad for us.
According to a government survey on the impact of the coronavirus on households, 1 in 10 families say at least one child in their household has not returned to school. Some family members say they've lost their jobs and can't afford school fees. Others say their children are not motivated to return to school. Before the pandemic, between 120 and 150,000 children in South Africa were not in school. That's estimated to have gone up to possibly 500,000. Since the beginning of the pandemic, more than 6,000 school children and thousands of teachers in KwaZulu-Natal have been infected by COVID-19. And that's often led to classes being disrupted and schools closed. It's estimated some children may have missed out on up to 80% of their coursework.
We have encouraged teachers, and most of them are doing it, even in the poor schools. Those learners who are not attending on a particular day because the school cannot accommodate all of them on the same day, they must be given work to do at home.
The Department of Education says it's providing assistance like online learning. But many poor families don't have access to the internet or can't afford it.
There were actually some substantial gains in reading and numeracy and science in South Africa since the early 2000s. So actually these gains were quite fast even for a developing country context. We also know that attendance was around 98%. And with the COVID-19 pandemic in effect, what we've seen is attendance currently falling to pre-2002 levels. So attendance is now currently below 95%.
The number of children who graduated from high school in 2020 in KwaZulu-Natal was down by 4% compared to the year before. And many are concerned that even once the pandemic ends, the impact on high school graduation rates in South Africa may be felt for up to a decade. Famida Miller, Al Jazeera, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, take care of yourself and each other.